G'day Carbonites, welcome back to Space Engineers Survival Maybe. It has been a long time since I've been able to play. I've been busy with the mod that I have on Ark, and then after I got that sorted out, Battle for Azeroth released, so I've been playing the crap out of that, and that meant Space Engineers took a back seat for a little while, but we'll be getting back on track now. So I hope you enjoyed the little time lapse of the Megatherium working. Look how long this hangar is. I got a little bit carried away. It just, this machine makes it so easy. Like, I didn't even realize how deep I had actually built this thing. I checked my resources, and I think we were down to about 5,000 steel plates. It's built up again, which is good. But yeah, this is it. Now I have made a couple of tweaks since I did that that time lapse, and before that I'd done a lot more detailing. Like, we've got the name on the back, and yeah, it looks really good. So I put these extra welders up the top here because there was a row that wasn't getting welded up, this row here. But while I was making the catwalking, I tried to grab some resources from this line of welders here, and I found out that that entire row there was not connected to the rest of the conveyor system, so it was completely useless. So I've since rectified that, and I probably don't need these anymore because it seems to get welded up straight away again, which is good. I really like the catwalking. I think it does a good job of, I don't know, making this seem more like a machine and not just a monstrosity. So we've got these all the drills and everything are on rotors and everything, rotors and pistons. Let's get the spectator cam so we can have a look. Okay, so the idea of these is I wanted the drills to drill out more than what they currently were, because this entire section up here, all these little cavities, they weren't getting drilled out, and it was just such a nightmare drilling it out by hand afterwards. And as well as that, like these sections in here, these weren't getting drilled out at all, and yeah, that was a big pain. So we've got these ones, these drills here that extend out, and you can see how far they drill into the mountain here. So they actually clear out the entire section, which is, it's good for our situation because we are completely covering everything. But obviously if you were leaving some of the voxel as the wall for your hangar, you wouldn't want to do that. You'd want to make sure it's nice and straight. But it's okay for it to be messy in this application. So it drills out a little bit higher and a little bit lower than the actual floor. And yeah, this thing's working really well. I have noticed that every now and then when I log on, one of the connectors is becoming unlocked, which is weird. I'm not sure why it does that. Okay, anyway, I wanted to show you the drills opening up. It looks so cool. Try and get a good view of it. It's like a mouth with little teeth and everything. Looks really cool. Very, very cool. So that helps just to make sure everything gets drilled out and we can get everything placed. Yep, very cool. Okay. So I think from this point here, the Megatherium is complete. It's functioning as good as I could get it, basically. Let's just lock this. I have noticed that it is slowly getting off course. Yeah, see the front one is off as well. I can't really fix it either because one of the sets needs to be connected at all times. Otherwise this thing just tips over on the front. All right, first. Let's rebuild that so it's actually got power on its own. This might turn into explosions. Just to warn you guys. We'll save this as a test, just in case. And then we want connectors rear and unlock. Nice, I think that straightened it up. Beautiful, okay. So now we can reduce that. Let's go back and lock those down. Connectors rear. What is this? Is it 0.15? I'll have to check these ones. 0.015. I guess we could, well, I don't know. What if, yeah, what if these ones here, we leave these at 15%. But these ones here, we'll put those back to default, seeing as when they get welded up, they're always going to be that by default anyway, so. Oh, there it is. Okay. So having increased strength on our connectors might help keep it in line. Because I noticed that it was starting to drift off sideways a little bit, but it looks really good now. It's nice and centralized. So overall, this has turned out to be a pretty good machine. Every now and then there is something I have to weld up by hand, maybe one block in an entire section, but overall it does really, really well. So like even all this stuff gets welded up. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect. There could definitely be improvements, but I'm pretty happy with it, considering this is my first attempt at something like this. Wow. Very cool. Okay, enough screwing around. Let's get to business. Let's get the spectator cam. There's our base. I think I want to have an elevator. Now this was the spot I was going to build it, but I think we're going to have multiple elevators, like maybe another one down here somewhere. And remember, there's going to be another hangar here, and this is going to be for the ground vehicles. So it might have to be on the other side of it, like somewhere here. Comes down, and that way this one can link up with this hangar. So we're going to come out at this spot right here. Okay, and we don't need these anymore. We can get rid of some of these. I went through turning them off one by one just to see if I needed them for anything before grinding them down. And it looks like we don't need these ones, which I'm hoping it's going to save on performance because it's not trying to project those blueprints. And I might leave that last one. Okay, so the one after the door is where the hangar is gonna, where the elevator is gonna come up to. So I'd probably want the first ship to be loaded here, maybe? No, let's have a gap so we can put some more modules in there, and then we'll make the first ship come out of this one here. So we'll get rid of all this crap. We'll have to do something else about the lights. I'll probably have to replace some of those blocks, but just to get an idea of how much space we've got to work with, I'm just going to get rid of everything. Okay, so the idea is I want to stay with this triangle thing that we've got. But just on a much larger scale that we can fit a ship through it. So we're going to basically follow that that slope there all the way up. Just going to make it quite narrow at the top, and we're not going to be able to fit very large ships through here, but I don't care. I need it to look good. It might be beneficial to just drill this all out first. I think we're over this way. Yep. We have oodles and oodles of room. We can just go nuts. All right, let's see what this looks like. See how much room we actually get if we continue with this style. Just probably not going to be a great deal. Do we want to... Yeah, I think we do want to just keep flowing that back. Like so. Something like that. That is wrong. All right, let's go again. Come on. You can tell it's been a while since I played. Gotta get used to the rotation tools again. Yeah, that's really not going to leave us with a great deal of room at all. And it actually creates another problem. The whole point of these triangles and, you know, weird shapes and cavities in the wall was to get rid of any big, flat, boring spots. But that's exactly what we're creating right there. It's a big, flat, boring spot. Nope, I don't like that either. Okay. Well, it's not going to leave us with enough space, I don't think. I mean, like, we could fit the mining ships and stuff, but the idea of this hangar was to be a place for all of our airships to be stored, and I have plans for bigger ships as well, so it's definitely not going to fit through that gap that we're creating there. I think what we should do is just adjust this a little bit. Probably leave that there. Okay, so rather than transitioning straight away, yeah, what if we just start up a little bit higher? And we'll go back a little bit as well. So that way there'll always be a, like the pillar will be a prominent section. Yeah, I think this should look a lot better. Okay, I got a slightly better idea. Not sure if I like this little section here, but I think it'd look better than carrying this edge all the way across. We'll try it. May as well. Yeah, so because I haven't done any of this in my test world, it's going to take a few iterations before we find something that I like, which is basically the whole point of doing my test builds, so I don't waste the recording time. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, that's not bad. It does kind of carry on with the same theme, but allows for a much larger opening. So it does work. I don't know. I think what I'll do is I'll go with this for now, and if I find something I like better later on, then we'll change it to that. But for now, I think this will work. I also hate these little things. I'm gonna weld up a full block to get rid of that. Okay, so it's an odd number wide. Ah, yes. That's good. Okay, what if let's get rid of these. maybe swap these for half slopes. So we can get some ribbing action. Everybody loves a good ribbing. I have no idea where I'm going with this. Something like that. I don't know, is that too much? Too much ribbing? Possibly. I don't know. I don't really know how to fix it. And it's not important anyway. Spending far too much time worrying about it. All right, what we need to do is work out the mechanism that's going to bring the ship up. So ideally, I'd like to be able to block these sections off with a door as well. So the idea is they're all closed. When we get in a ship underneath and we raise the elevator up, the door swaps positions. So it blocks the downstairs area, but opens up this area. And then that way we can fly the ship out. And when we come back in, it'll be open so we can park the ship on here and then lower the elevator and the door will go back up. I think that will probably be the best solution. So it's basically just going to swap positions. Trouble is we're going to need two pistons to be able to move it far enough, because we have how many blocks? Ideally the door would come up above this. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 for the floor. So yeah, we're definitely going to need 2 pistons to be able to move that door all the way out of the way. All right, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to grab the mining ship. I might actually use the Doty if I remember how to fly it. Because we're not worried about accidentally drilling out too much or anything. There's nothing around us. And for the first one, I want to make sure we've got enough room that we can try out a few different designs and get everything sorted out. So let's just go nuts and drill everything out. All right, it's an absolute mess, but I think we've got enough. I think we've got enough drilled out. Thank you, Doty. God, it's an absolute mess. Okay. So I'm thinking like a piston set off to the side here, behind the pillar. So we're going to need 2 pistons attached to a door that just basically swaps places. So it'll be either down here or it'll be up here. You know what we could do is we could attach the door to the elevator shaft itself. So that means it would go above where we are. How much space do we have up here? Heaps of space. What I'm thinking is, okay, so the elevator floor will be down here. It's going to need a roof as well. So it comes up the back and then goes across for the roof, and then the door is attached to it. When the elevator goes up, the door will get pushed up naturally with it. But then the bottom doesn't get closed off. But I think that'd be right. It'd save us having so many pistons, because otherwise we'd need 2 sets of pistons for the elevator itself, and then there would also be two pistons for the door. So that might be the way to go. All right, so I'm thinking pistons here. We're gonna need to do some funny business. Go with a corner piece. Let's do that. And then we should be able to place another one. I think that'll work. Because we got that edge there. Oh, it's going to be a little bit off because naturally the pistons are a touch longer. So it's never going to be exactly aligned. That might not be too bad. All right, well, we'll go with this. Because we can always just have it so the pistons don't retract all the way. And so they'll be sitting down in line with this. We'll see how this goes anyway. So basically this is the floor. Let's get a rough idea here. And then we'll have blast edge there. And obviously we'll push it down a little bit. And then, so the floor's going to come back a bit. Ideally it'd come back a lot further, but whatever. Something like that, maybe. So the little lip lines up with that. All right, so let's see how this lines up then. Yeah, that's way too high. What are you doing, Timmy? And then a blast door edge. Like that. Ribbing isn't going to make any sense at all because it's not going to be replicated in here. I don't know. This is just a prototype. All right. So, I don't know. This is confusing the hell out of me. I really should have warmed up before I started playing again. So I'm thinking maybe something like that because we need that blast door edge on this side of the wall. But at the same point in time, we also need to make a solid wall, which we're gonna have to dig out more voxel. All right, what's this guy at? Current position is 1.2, so that's going to be the minimum distance. And now we want to move, what is it, 7 blocks? 7 blocks is going to be 10 meters and 7.5 meters. So how about that, that 1.2? 1.2 plus 7.5, its maximum distance is going to be 8.7. Maximum 8.7. Okay, so that's the 7.5 plus the minimum distance of 1.2. And this one will just move its full range from 0 to 10 meters. Wow, that moves very quickly. See if I did my math right. Sort of. No, actually, I think that will be all right, because then this slope will line up with the next block. Yeah. Yep, so that is right. So then this is a solid wall. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do about that. It looks hideous. Because I need the connection point on the top, and I need a blast door edge on this side here. So, because otherwise I'd just do something like this, but we can't connect anything to the top of that. It's also moving around a little bit. Let's put shear inertia tensor on this one. See if that helps. That sounds terrible. Ah, shit. I just thought of something. If we have a welding ship or something like that, or even the mining ship, we need to connect this to the conveyor system. Because currently this is a separate grid. It's a subgrid. So if we're going to do this, we're going to have to stack these pistons and probably sit them underneath or something. Also, why am I sliding? I don't know. I think what I'll do is I'll leave this like this. I don't like leaving projects in such a mess, but I really want to see what you guys say. See if you guys come up with anything. Hopefully my shitty little demonstration gives you a fairly good idea of what I'm trying to achieve by having this. So basically the door's attached to the elevator itself. So when it lowers down, it naturally closes up this section here. And realistically, I could do the same with the bottom as well. I just put one of these doors. I'm pointing at the screen now, like you can see. I put one of these doors underneath the elevator. So when it slides up, it blocks the bottom hole. Which is possible. The only thing I'd be worried about is the weight would, because it'd start getting pretty heavy. Currently, you know, we've only got a quarter of a door there, so the weight's not an issue. I don't know. I guess we're going to be carrying, you know, like a couple of 100,000 kilos worth of ship as well. Maybe this is a bad idea. I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think we should what we should do. Yeah, so basically this area here, this is where we walk around and get into our ship. Hit a button and the elevator pops up, and then we disconnect and fly out to the runway and just take off. That's the idea. Alright guys, that is going to do it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, don't forget to lead your targets, and I'll see you next time.